Alright, so I'm back, and neighbor had a question for me. Um, I used to be able to edit videos at work. Getting right back into it. Sorry. So I used to be able to schedule uploads, do a bunch of recordings, and when I was too busy at work, I could schedule recordings to come out. And I was doing like um, one or two recordings or one or two videos a week, depending on how many I had and how much I was recording at the time. Um, I also had people that I could play with on a really regular basis. We had a good schedule going. And then I took my new job about a year and a half ago in October of 2012. So do the math, because I won't. And after my training and stuff like that for about a month, I was named the lead of IT project manager for a new 8-story addition to the hospital that was being designed. So that ate up a lot of my time, and so that finally opened, and now I support it, and now I support we went with virtual desktops and stuff like that, and so I support the image, I support the virtual desktop that they connect to, and as time went on, we kept our team, which is great. Members of our team would move into different positions, but the problem is that when they move into those other positions, they would take their card with them. A card is an open position or a position essentially. And we've never got cards to replace them. And then we've had two people who've recently left. One of his own accord, one not. I don't get into that. But so we have the main hospital, which is a facility including parking lots that's about a mile wide, or how many city blocks, or well, we call them city blocks. They're not really city blocks, but 5 of our blocks wide, and then a block deep, and that's the primary structure of the hospital I work with. There's also a building, a physician's building, which would be like where you go to go to the doctor, and then an orthopedic building where they just do bone and joint type stuff. And that makes up the primary, what we call our primary support area. And of that primary support area, of the main building, we used to have 5 people who'd work that, and we'd have one person support the 2 offset buildings. And then the 8-story building, that's the addition that I was the project manager for, we brought, there was a guy who used to support the old building they were in before they moved everybody out of that and into the new building. So currently we are down to 2 people. So me and my coworker are now each 3.5 people for support. So I am so busy at work. We're down to just putting out fires. And in the world of IT, essentially, you have some things that are projects, some things that are issues, and then there are things that you have to deal with right now. Otherwise, well, in this case, people could die, and so we have to deal with those right now. Well, that's all we're able to do right now is what has to be done right now. And so I get a little burned out at work, which stinks because I really enjoy my team. I really enjoy what I do. There are other things that I thought I'd like to do more, but I don't want to be the low man on the totem pole anymore. Like I said, I deal with fun stuff. I deal with technology that not a lot of other people get to play with, so I really enjoy it. But it's really starting to burn me out right now. So when I get home, I have to currently cook dinner. And do dishes, and as you can see, I would say I clean, but Not yet, but I'm also getting ready to move here soon because when my wife finishes RN school, she's going to move from my what I call family city to my work city, and so we'll be able to be a family again. At that time, I should have better internet and be able to record better, or have more time to edit. Maybe not more time, but more dedicated time, if that makes sense. Um, and so that was BigGunn's question. And then Steve, or SD944S, asked me, when looking for a new graphics card, what are the most important stats to look for? Lots of conflicting info out there. And I actually just bought my graphics card, I want to say about 3 years ago. It was the last piece of my computer that I wanted to get. My computer that I have is 7 years old, and it's a hand-me-down that was scrapped together from parts. So I'd really like a new computer, but it was top of the line when it was put together, and so it still kind of holds its weight, except for the graphics card. The graphics card was really starting to crap out in it. And so what I did is, and what I like to do, is the first thing you do is you set yourself a budget. I want a card between this range and this range. And so my goal was between 100 and $150. I want to, or no, my goal was between $150 and $185. That was the budget I had. Yeah, you really need a range like that. And so what I started doing is I got on Newegg and started looking at reviews. And one of the things I noticed in reviews is a lot of people say, I play this game, this card plays this game very well. Or I play this game, and it plays this game very well, and this game not well at all. And so I started looking through all of those. And so I started to find cards that people said played the game that I wanted to play, which was World of Warcraft at the time, that it played it very well. And so then so I knew that it would play that, and so then I created a list of about 4 or 5 cards that these are the cards that will play my game that I want at the resolution I want. And the reviews are current, because you have to look at stuff like that too, because games like that change a lot over time. And so, and then I started looking at, I like GDDR5. GDDR is designated graphic CPUs, which are way more powerful than CPU-style processors and graphics cards. It's like putting a CPU versus memory. And so if you can get a GDDR card, because those cards are specifically designed to support graphics card or graphics type processing. The one thing that was not quite in mid to low range cards at the time that I was buying mine was a PhysX chip in the card. That is one thing that I wish I would have had in it, because one of my games is very physics intensive, and I think it might help with that, and that is drawing a blank again. A Kerbal Space Program. Thank you. I'm talking to myself, just absolutely nuts. So yeah, and then I look for the ones that have the most amount of memory in them at the highest bits that I can afford. And so between higher bits and higher memory, I chose higher bits. And it's been a card I've been pretty happy with. I think it's a XFX Radeon 5770 that I bought. And it's actually a card you can't even buy anymore. But buy from a manufacturer you've heard of, a manufacturer that your friends have heard of. And that's the best thing to do, is ask people that you know. And ask them, what'd you spend for your card? How long ago was that? Because every year the graphics card reduces price dramatically. And how happy are they with it? And does it play the games that they want at the quality they want? And so that's a great question. I actually did a lot of research when I was looking for my graphics card. I started looking, and I think it was 4 months later I was finally ready to pull the trigger on something. So sorry, lips bleeding. Arizona trip, very dry air, very painful. So anyway, so there were the three questions, and I was very grateful to have some participation. I've been really sad if nobody participated. But out of the three, I will send an email to the winner, who is BigGunn. That was the one question I was kind of hoping to get. I was hoping to get funny questions, but that one in particular, because it kind of helps me to tell people, why I dropped out for now. And I'm not out forever, but I do want to we'll have to take a pause for probably still another 2 or 3 months. And when I do get back into it, I'm going to do more streaming. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, unsubscribe, whatever. At this point, I don't really care. Anyway, thanks. Have a good day. And now let's hit the button. Boop.